So, like a lot of people lately, I've gone and seen the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's a great film. And now it's award season, and Remy Malek is winning actually awards for his acting, and the picture has been nominated for an Oscars Best Picture of the Year. But since the movie debuted, I've heard rumblings from people that, geez, I wonder if they'll do another Live Aid, or maybe we should do another Live Aid. And my thought to that is, I hope not.
This is United A-Holes, a video cast discussing cultural topics with no filter.
So, Sir Bob Geldof, eh, Kendall?
No, Sir fucking Bob Geldof.
Huh. What about him? Like, he's a great guy, right? No, seriously. I mean, he did all these great festivals, raised money for fucking charities.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck right off. All right. I don't know where to start. I'll start fucking...
Do you ever pour fucking gasoline on a fire?
And then poke the bear with a stick?
I think I might have done both.
Fuck. You know, in hindsight, maybe the most pretentious fucking charity song of all time, Do They Know It's Christmas, instead of Feed the chorus going, Feed the World, probably should have been written with the line, Feed the Warlord. Because that's exactly what happened with Live Aid. And I'm sick and tired of, oh, Bob Geldof, Sir Bob Geldof. Oh, what a humanitarian, what a great guy he fucking is. And everything that I'm going to say tonight is a matter of fucking public record. You can Google it and look it up. But basically, in a sense, what Live Aid did was basically enhance an already genocidal problem in Ethiopia, because what Geldof did is he took the money for Live Aid, and instead of listening to all the relief institutions, he decided to hand it to Mengistu, who was the ruling dictator, warlord, or whatever you want to call him, in Ethiopia. And Bob is actually quoted saying, I'd rather shake hands with the devil's right and left hand in order to get the money where it needs to go. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, I needed a house sitter, so I got a guy that had a felony break-in record because he knows his way around a house. For fuck's sake. So you gave the money to the warlord because he actually lived in Ethiopia. That was your reasoning and understanding. Now, Bob has never commented on this. He's been asked to several times from various news organizations, and he basically, his response is, well, the article is biased against me because I won't do the interview. All you got to do is just say, no, this is what really happened, but your silence is, to me, basically, if I don't say anything, eventually it'll go away. But what happens is that every 5 or 10 years, somebody reminds the world that this travesty actually took place. And there are pictures on the internet of him and this guy, all buddy-buddy, arm in arm, and all the photo opportunities of what a great humanitarian he is. And then you stop and think, like, how does that happen? Like, how do you actually take the money, give it to a warlord, and instead of feeding the masses, he buys weapons from Russia so he can further his dictatorship. And that's essentially where and what happened to all the money. So when I hear all this stuff about, oh, Sir Bob Geldof, such a great human being, I say, are you fucking kidding me? But I mean, he was never fucking great to begin with. I mean, fuck. Let's go back to Do They Know It's Christmas? Don't be afraid, it's Christmas time. Fuck, don't be afraid, it's Christmas time. But the line that drives me fucking absolutely insane
Here
is...
it comes.
And there won't be snow in Africa this Christmas. Because it fucking snows in Ethiopia every fucking year. Send them a snow missionary. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking, and there won't be snow in fucking Africa.
Okay. We understand that you're rather upset about this. So I'm gonna play the counter argument here and say, what should have Sir fucking Bob Geldof done other than what he did? Not do Live Aid? Give the money elsewhere?
He should have actually listened to the people that were on the ground fighting the good fight, which I would assume would be Red Cross, UNICEF, Samara, any of them that went to him and said, and basically he just ignored them and said, I'm going to give it to this guy because he's really on the ground there. And he said, well, basically, you shake hands with the devil. Yeah, no, I'm honest. I'm number one guy, right? Of course, he's going to fuck you every time. But I mean, he was a hack to begin with. I mean, I'm sick and tired of also everybody fucking the Boomtown Rats. Oh, what a great band they were and everything. And they had one song that charted on the Billboard charts. Number 73 it reached. They had 7 albums, one song charted, and it only reached 73. And that's that one, Tell Me Why I Don't Like Mondays. Well, tell me why I should like Bob fucking Geldof, for fuck's sake.
Okay, so did any of the money, because it's been traced, is this what you've researched? Is somebody went in and looked at where the money went?
Basically,
the
Spin magazine in 10 years after Live Aid did an article, and basically back then there was no internet, so you actually had to go through microfiche news reports and everything and research it. And basically the editor of Spin, which was Bob Guccione Jr., the guy that he went on it, came back into his office ashen-faced, and he said, even that year, and there's famine pretty much all the time in Ethiopia, which they deal with and everything, but that particular year it was worse because it was mostly man-made. Because of the war and everything, they were napalming the farms and destroying them, so no food. Yeah. It was not so much nature, was taking its course.
Yeah. So none of the money made its way down to helping anybody. This warlord took the money.
He took the check.
Put the arm around Geldof and went, this guy!
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he funded his war.
Pisses me off is that when the article first went out in Spin, there was such a backlash that, artists, famous artists where I'll never be in your magazine again, and sponsors pulled out, and I'll never advertise in you again. And Bob Guccione Jr. did every talk show, did every bit of press that he possibly could, and always ended the interview with the same sentence. You are a news organization. Look at it yourself. And finally, the Wall Street Journal did an op-ed on it 2 years later, and it was Spin was right. Jesus. Yeah.
So eventually it was vetted.
Yeah, it was vetted and found out that this actually happened. Most of the money went to the dictator in the land, and he spent it on war. Whatever. War. Whatever
the other question I have
about this is a man that killed 100,000 people. You put him responsible for saving people.
That's a bad ROI. That's a lot of money for very little outcome.
That's funny. It is. You're not wrong.
You did get a knighthood out of it.
Okay. So my question would be, was it known before Live Aid or post Live Aid that's what went down?
Post or after.
Okay, so the artists that were involved weren't aware.
No. Nobody.
Have any of the artists ever come out afterwards and decried his actions?
Nope.
There was a lot of bands involved in that. It
was huge. That was huge. The event of our generation type of thing.
Yeah.
For that time was Live Aid. It was on 2 continents. Phil Collins appeared in both of them. Yeah, it was a big friggin' deal.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was a great
deal. I can't imagine all those artists.
I just love too that the Boomtown Rats opened the show. They came out and they opened up with Tell Me Why I Don't Like Mondays. And then after that song was over, he's in the mic going, do-do-do-do-do. And everybody, you could see them in the crowd going, what the fuck is that song? They got more than one? For fuck's sake, right? Jesus.
So everybody was hanging on desperately to the notion, no, this had to have done good.
Yeah.
So Bob Guccione Jr. just has to be wrong, because otherwise I've pinned my hopes on something that was a failure, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I was reading while I was doing the research on this, there were some comments about, you know, he is really a musical genius and everything like that. And he actually put the Boomtown Rats back together in 2013 to do a tour of Ireland. And to quote him, I wanted the Boomtown Rats to be afresh. His words, fresh. Fucking, because that's how pretentious fucking people talk. I wanted them to be fresh. And so they did their tour, whatever. They actually went,
biscuit or what?
they actually went back into the studio in 2017. In April of 2017, the Boomtown Rats went back into the studio and recorded an album.
You did some serious research on this.
And where is it? If he's such a great musical genius, I tell you what has happened probably, in my opinion. Hey, you want to release their album? Fuck no! Have you heard it?
Okay, so I want to jump in here real quick. If the Boomtown Rats release an album and it does anything whatsoever, we will be talking about this again, I'll guarantee. Because we're going to be like, Ken, have you heard the new Boomtown Rats album? Yeah. It's amazing.
When can I listen to a band with a singer who sounds like a mermaid, for crying out loud?
So, okay. So, all right. Let's clear this up then. You clearly, we've got the facts. You're upset about it, and you're not wrong. I agree with you. It is a terrible thing. What should he do to atone for this, in your opinion? What's the next step for him to make it better, to make some sort of...
Look, if he'd come out and said, we're going to try this again, but let me reassure everybody that, mistakes were made, and I thought I, was doing good or whatever, or I got wrong information, even though it's fact that he got proper information, he just decided not to
ignore it. Yeah.
Ignore it.
He didn't vet the information that he had, good or bad, to say, "Oh shit, you know what? These people are right."
Yeah, this
guy's
killing his own people, for fuck's sake.
Or I'm going to give it to the Red Cross. I'm going to give it to UNICEF. I'm going to give it to the organizations that are doing good on the ground. All right. So he should come back. We should have another Live Aid. We shouldn't call it Live Aid 2. We should call it Live Aid the Correction.
Yeah. Something.
So what do you think, Ryan?
I have no opinion on this.
Fuck, you're never lost for words.
Would you go? Would you go to Live Aid the Correction?
No, probably
not. Okay.
He wouldn't go to Live Aid. If it happened again tomorrow.
Ryan's theory is there wouldn't be world hunger if you just moved where the food was.
Oh, that's cold.
No, I just...
You're not wrong.
Woo. Oh, wow. Is that how we end an episode?
No, it's just, it's kind of like, as I know you probably have, I know you're a Star Wars fan and everything like that, but you probably don't think that Lucas is the end all to be all in terms of that. How, you know what I mean?
That's another episode. Because if I start, we're going down the rabbit hole with that, and that's more editing. So, yes, you are correct. I have opinions.
I love that man. He's saving me work.
We will talk about this in a
editors are starving to death, and Brent's worried about them.
That's a part 1, part 2 type of episode. So
yes.
Yeah.
Live Aid was successful in the fact that you had all those bands on the same bill, and there were some really iconic performances. Queen being probably one of the best one-off live performances ever. But when you look at it as like, it won't be snowing Africa this Christmas. Oh, fuck off.